At the beginning of the movie, we see a girl in the jungle who was running to save her life in a very injured condition. Then a tall, broad deformed man came from behind who was a cannibal, i.e. Adam Cole, who eats human flesh. Deforms are those people who change due to the bad effects of chemicals and become dangerous. The size of this deform is also very big. That deform came running and covered the whole face of that girl with just one hand. He was so strong that he crushed the girl's face with just one hand. That is why he was named Crusher. Then that man Crusher takes the corpse home with him, which was in the middle of the jungle. His elder brother was also in the house, who was watching TV comfortably. Crusher takes the corpse outside and starts cutting it into pieces. Then we see on TV where the tape recording of the same boy was playing, in which Crusher was killing the boy who had killed him. And he was cutting the pieces into pieces. Actually, these people were torturing the boy after imprisoning him, but somehow the girl managed to escape. The Crusher killed him and she became their food. They fried his flesh in oil with onions and started eating it with great pleasure. After this, we see a group kidnapping the daughter of a rich man and taking her away. The girl was locked in the trunk of the car. Among the kidnappers was a goon, his brother, a boy, and his cousin Sarah. Sarah and her cousin were not kidnappers. They were doing all this with these goons out of helplessness. No one knew where all these people were going. Only one goon knew, but he was not telling anyone. Anyway, these people stop at a gas station. The goon is sitting in the car while his brother goes out to fill fuel. Let's talk about Sarah and her cousin. That store they go inside, the back door was open. Now Sarah's cousin wanted to run away, but he did not want to leave his sister here. An old man was filling fuel in his truck in front of their car. Then a gentleman came and started talking to that man, which made the heartbeat of these two goons faster. The goon had even taken out his gun. Then Sarah and her cousin also came out. Then Sharif started talking to both of them too, and seeing this both the goons got more worried. They got scared that Sharif might get suspicious of them, but Sarah distracted him by talking to Sharif. After this they again moved ahead, but on the way the goon started arguing with everyone. Then suddenly a big deer came in front. Then the goon could not control the car and directly collided with the deer. Those goons are saved, but the goon gets trapped and the poor deer dies. Along with him, they enter the chest of the goon. All three of them were trying to move the deer from the front, but the deer was so heavy that it was not moving even a little, which was causing pain to the goon, but his pain increased when the deer came to its senses and did not struggle. The goon could not bear the pain, so he directly shoots the deer in the head, but even then the deer was not going to survive. So his brother goon snatched his gun and asked him to tell them where to go, but the goon was still not telling, so in anger his brother goon shot him in the head and blew his head off. Now their plan had ended with the goon. They did not know what to do next, and the car could not even move, so now they had to move forward on foot. They were also not able to understand whether they should go forward or backward towards the gas station. But there was also the kidnapped girl. She was thinking about what to do with her. While he was in this trouble, suddenly a truck arrived there in which there was a man. Seeing their condition, he says that two of you can come with me, we will get help at the gas station, but the other goon had a different plan. He thinks that why should two go when only three of us can go. He will take the kidnapped girl with him and they will not go behind but ahead. Thinking this, the goon shot that man, due to which the poor man fell down. Although he wanted to help, the goon started shooting the second shot also, but then Sarah's wife stopped him, taking advantage of which the truck driver runs away from there. Now the goon's heart was telling him to kill Sarah's brother also, but he could not do this in Sarah's presence. Then now they had no other way, so after taking the kidnapped girl out, they started moving ahead through the forest, but the Crusher's brother was keeping an eye on them. Seeing the people, his mouth started watering. There was food of many weeks in front of him, which he could eat. He did not want to lose anything and went straight to his house to pick up the Crusher, who was sitting sadly because he said that my new friend, that is the one whom he killed, had also left me and ran away to save her life. Her brother said that a new friend has come, let's go quickly. Then he also took the handcuffs as shackles and left. Just then, while driving the truck, the man who was helping them died because he was shot and had lost a lot of blood. As soon as his car stopped on the side, the old man saw him and immediately called Sharif. Seeing this, Sharif realized that the matter was serious because he was shot. Then news came on the radio that 4 kidnappers were running away after kidnapping a girl. Then remembering the line of the car of those 4, Sharif became sure that they were the same 4 people whom he had seen in the morning. Then Sharif called the police and then he himself moved ahead. Meanwhile, Sarah's brother was taking full care of his rapist girl whose name was Ash, and Crusher was also following them, but the goon was fed up of all this and he felt like killing Sarah's brother too, but before shooting him, he shot the goon, and that was Crusher's brother. Immediately Sahara starts a drama that he was a bad man who was kidnapping us and taking us away. Save us, sometimes this person and sometimes that person. But such drama does not affect Crusher's brother. Sarah's brother also came forward, but before he could say anything, Crusher's brother shoots a gun at his face and shuts his mouth. He locks both the siblings in shackles and takes them to their car. They were surprised that why did he bring them to the car. Actually, Crusher's brother wanted the head of a deer. How could he leave such delicious food and leave Ash behind? He had come so that Crusher could befriend him, but Crusher knocks him unconscious with just one punch. Crusher's brother was getting a deer's head cut off by Sarah's brother. Then both the siblings got the head removed, but when it was time to take the head back, Sarah's brother asked him, "Don't you want meat?" Crusher's brother replied, "No, we don't eat animals." Sarah's brother thought that he might be a vegetarian who eats vegetables, but he hadn't heard properly that we don't eat animal meat, that is, they are cannibals who eat humans. By then Crusher had reached home with Ash, and after giving her a good beating, he goes out. Then we come to know that Ash was pretending to be unconscious, but as soon as she ran to save her life, she actually faints after colliding with something. Meanwhile, Crusher's brother brought both of them, and their condition worsens after seeing Crusher. He put the deer's head in the shed and asked Sarah to smile, and then she did this. Kia fakes a smile. Meanwhile, Sharif had reached their car, where his mind gets confused. The car had met with an accident, but the goon had died from the bullet, and Huron's head was also cut off. To solve what was happening here, Sharif had to follow the blood trail which was falling from Huron's head and going forward. He would follow it and he would also reach home. On the other hand, Sarah puts forward a deal to Crusher's brother that we are going to get a lot of money by kidnapping the girl. You can keep half of it and just let us go. But money does not matter to Crusher's brother. He gives lemon water to Sarah to drink, but Sarah refuses to drink it, saying that she does not take drinks from strangers. Crusher's brother accepts his mistake and extends his hand to shake hands. Sarah feels that we have come on the line now and we should talk to them in this language. But while shaking hands, Crusher's brother pulls her hand and hits her face on the table, and she keeps looking. Sarah was afraid that there would be poison in the neem pani, but then she thinks that if he had to kill me, he would have killed me in the jungle itself, so she agrees to drink it, but she says that you are also like those people who are in mess, who kill openly. Then Crusher's brother says that this is not a mess. Murder takes time and one cannot kill in such a short time, but in our case, everyone is a crusher, that is, kill after torturing them badly. We crush the face with one hand, then cook them and eat them with pleasure. Crusher's brother points a gun at her, after which she drinks Sarah neem pani without saying anything, then keeping the gun aside. Crusher's brother gets busy in some work, so Sarah picks up the gun and shoots at him. But the gas was empty. Here Sarah comes to know that the limo water did not have poison but an anesthetic. As soon as she faints, Crusher's brother reaches Ash, who was tied to the chair. She was still pretending to be unconscious to torture her. So Crusher's brother broke the lock and removed the cloth from her mouth, and now we can see her face for the first time. Meanwhile, Crusher makes Sarah's brother unconscious with a single hit. Her brother tells Crusher to take Ash in his shirt and lock her up. Then Crusher locks Ash up in the same way. Then he hangs Sarah outside so that he can bite her. He puts the bag containing Ash on her mouth. He started recording everything so that he can enjoy watching the whole scene later. Meanwhile, Crusher takes Sarah's brother inside and ties him to the chair. Crusher's brother brings Sarah back to consciousness and then shows her in front of the camera. Ash starts taunting, hearing his check. On hearing his check, she thinks, why not I cut the ropes of my hands with the horns of a deer. Crusher's brother cut Senna a little and came to her brother with his camera. Senna's brother asks, where is Senna? Crusher's brother says she is hanging outside. Meanwhile, Ash cuts the ropes of her hands and then she gets free from the shackles of her legs. Inside, Crusher's brother also started torturing Sarah's brother. He starts making cuts on her body. Ash had two options: either she runs away or does something, but she did not do anything by running away. She comes inside, picks up a shotgun, loads bullets in it and puts 2 bullets in her pocket. Crusher's brother was burning Sarah's brother's wounds with a lighter so that his blood does not flow. Then Ash comes inside and first shoots Crusher, and then she takes Crusher's brother at gunpoint. She frees Sahara's brother, then she gets Crusher's brother put in chains by Sahara's brother, after which she comes out with all three. She was not killing Crusher's brother because she was taking them to the road. Sarah's brother brought her down and saw that she was alive too. She dressed Sarah and then they quickly got behind Crusher's bike. Though both of them were finding it difficult to walk, they had no option but they had to. Ash had pointed a gun at all three of them because these two were not her friends, they were her kidnappers. All three were equal for her, but there was a big danger of Crusher's brother. Soon Crusher's brother caught Sarah's brother. Sarah's brother was telling Ash to shoot, but when she did not, Crusher's brother ran after her neck and killed Senna's brother. Ash was still not shooting. Then Sarah snatched the gun from Ash's hand and shot Krishna's brother directly. Now because the gun was in Sarah's hand, Ash had become a slave again. She had Ash at gunpoint. Then someone shot Sarah and blew off Sarah's head, and that was Sharif. Ash thought that Sarah was Ash. Sharif asks Ash a little and then tells her to take him to their house and get to the root of the matter, and then only he will leave from here. But after reaching home he saw that Krishan was not there. Ash had come to know that now they are gone. She wanted to run away, so the sheriff handcuffed her and tied her to the chair. Then he goes outside where Krishan crushes her face by holding one hand. After that he starts cutting her into pieces. By then Ash also gets free from the handcuffs. Crusher starts cutting Sharif's hands and legs and flying them in the air and taking a big knife. Ash also starts going out. Then Crusher's brother comes inside and holds him at gunpoint, but Ash quickly puts that knife in his forehead. Now before dying, he shouts and calls Crusher. When Crusher comes, Ash shoots him again. Then takes 2-3 bullets and she runs out, but Crusher was also behind her. The good thing was that after taking the pills Krish had become a little weak and he was walking slowly. Taking advantage of this, she reaches Ash Road where the police had also arrived, but before going on the road she challenged Crusher by looking into his eyes that "Come, I will go to the police, but only after killing you." But Crusher ignores this and turns back from there. Then AV leaves from there with the police at night. When the police reached that house, then Crusher kept running and watching them, then turned back and went into the jungle because he had gone to prepare to kill the policeman, i.e. the series of deaths was going to start once again because of course his brother had died, but now Crusher will finish everyone alone and will also take revenge for his brother, and with this horrible ending this story also ends here.